Yo, yo, yo. We're back, baby. We're back. And finally, I'm wearing my Superman 2025 shirt. I've not worn this for a while. It's fresh. It's clean. Smelling good. But didn't even wear it to going to see the film, which I was so gutted about. But, I was working. I couldn't exactly wear a Superman shirt. I could have taken it with me and changed in the toilets, but I didn't. But hello, and welcome to another That's Just Joe video. My name's Joe, and that's about it. But that's not about it. We're here to continue talking about Superman 2025. Holy crap. It's so weird to think. It's so weird to think it's here. Derpy, I will get to you in a minute. I'm just going to kind of give the lowdown and everything, and then I'll try and get you on Discord or something, buddy. But just kind of want to talk about just the film in general and the future of the DCU. And I'm so happy with this film. I went to see it a second time on Saturday in IMAX again. I actually took my younger brother who hadn't seen the film yet, and he absolutely loved it. This is definitely a film for a whole new generation. Like, absolutely there is. It is. There's no doubt about it. I just love this film, man. And as you can see, I already have a Superman shelf. And if you've been checking out my TikToks, you know I've been excited for the merch, like finding the merch and everything. Sorry, I can hear my cat making noises. It's making weird noises. But I recently picked up Mr. Terrific, which is such an awesome figure. What an awesome character as well in the film. Yeah, fair play. But yeah, really happy to pick that up. And yeah, going to add to the collection now and again when I can. I don't think these Superman figures are selling out fast, apart from that deluxe theatrical edition Superman. But I'd like to get Lex Luthor, Ultraman, all those big wigs. Maybe Metamorpho, but yeah, you one-upped me. Derpy saw it a third time, so I lose. But I don't think I'll be going to see it again unless like one of my friends or colleagues are like, "Can you go see it with me?" I definitely would, but I might have to give it more time. It's like when I saw The Batman. I saw it 3 times, but that, to be honest, is a long film. Like The Batman's a long film, and it's just one of those things. Sorry, my cat is currently wanting to play with the wires around my computer, which is something I need to sort. Come here. Good boy. Sorry. We're supposed to be discussing Superman, but my cat has decided not to play ball today. But he's going into his shelf. You can see him there. He's got his own little shelf now. He was knocking over loads of action figures recently, so I've had to put him in this little cubby hole. I don't know if you can see him. He's not quite sure yet about it, but I mean that right there is my Crypto. He is so like Crypto, it's actually unbelievable. But he's not 100%. He slept in there once, but yeah. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Superman. This film is awesome. Now, unfortunately, I have been talking to friends who have seen it, and some of them have enjoyed it, but a lot of them haven't enjoyed the film. Some of them have been not disappointed, but it just wasn't their thing, and I'm really shocked by that because I thought it was such a fun film. And I can't stop thinking about it as well. The music, some of the scenes in it, obviously Crypto. But yeah, sorry, my cat is just playing up. Of course, he's playing up as I go live. But I can't stop thinking about the film, man. I just can't, and I just want to see what happens next. I want to see the Superman again. This Superman was perfect. I'm a big Superman fan now after this film. Like, even my wife was saying, like, Henry Cavill wasn't your Superman, Christopher Reeve, all those bigwig names and everything. But this one, I responded very well to, because it just hit me. It just hit me. I finally understood Superman, which was great. I just love the character. You know, this is the perfect version for me because it's something I've responded to really well. And again, I'm just looking forward to the future of the DCU. And it didn't feel like the film relied on too much of the. Sorry, I had to close the window because my cat. Yeah, he just nearly bloody jumped out the window. But it didn't feel like it relied on nostalgia too much and setting up the DCU. It was just kind of taking you into the world of the DCU, and that, you know, clarifying it's not our world. And Metropolis, I don't feel like Metropolis got enough time on screen, but as we've heard recently, you know, this film is doing super well. It's already aiming to make 400 million by the end of this week. But there is a related project coming out that Derpy filled me in on, and it is a Jimmy Olsen series, a crime anthology series centered on various DC villains with Skylar Gisendos, is that how you say it? Jimmy Olsen as the host, which is so cool. This is so exciting, man. Really looking forward to this. Really, it's going to be something different. And Jimmy was a great character in the film. Really funny. Gets all the girls. Fair play. But I just really enjoyed the world that the DCU is representing and everything. Sorry, my cat is like just being so weird at the moment. But yeah, no, overall I loved all the characters in the film. I thought Lex Luthor was perfect. I thought this is the best Lex Luthor. And again, a Lex Luthor I understand, and I get why he's Superman's main adversary. 1 second. Sorry, just had to chuck my cat out. He was just doing too many things. Yeah, I just really love the movie, man. I just really loved the movie. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's next. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's next in the DCU. We obviously have Peacemaker Season 2 coming up in August. And it turns out here in the UK, we're getting it, I think, simultaneously to the US. So it's not going to be like the Creature Commandos way. I did watch Ep 1 of Creature Commandos. I thought it was all right. And I still need to finish it when I have the time. But overall, yeah, you know, the DCU is just looking great. And we have Lanterns next year, and then Supergirl. Man, Supergirl. I'd love to get in spoilers, but I'll probably get in spoilers with Derpy in just a bit. I need to find a spoilers image, actually, to kind of talk about this. But, yeah, it's just such a good day to be a DC fan. It really is. And also, what's been brilliant is the public's response to Superman. And obviously, it's been, oh, David Corenswet, he's so attractive. There's a little spoiler alert. There we go. But, you know, people have been going in their droves to see this film and actually being surprised by it. But again, I spoke to some people who just didn't enjoy the film and thought it was just too overstuffed and everything. But I think being a big comic book movie fan and just being really excited for the future of the DC universe and sort of understanding the logistics of why the Superman movie is so important kind of helped with my viewing experience. With others who aren't big fans of the DC universe and everything, it might be harder to get on board. But the majority seem to really like this movie. I just come out with it with so much hope. Like I do. I really liked this film. It was really good. And, you know, people can have their... they're just haters. I mean, people have their opinions, and that's absolutely fine. But I don't have to agree with the opinions. And I don't go in a whole, but you don't understand this and that. If people don't like the movie, they don't like the movie. My wife, who is a very harsh critic with films and anything I work on, she's very hard to please, and she really enjoyed the Superman movie, which was really, really good. So that's impressive to me. That's really impressive. Like, if you can impress my wife, you're impressing lots of people, James Gunn. But again, I just loved I loved the visual effects in Superman. Even my brother was saying the visual effects weren't that bad. They were a bit dodgy in some places, but nothing too distracting. David Corenswet is good. David Corenswet is brilliant, Yash. Like I think David Corenswet is just so charming, so funny. It's the first time I felt like I could be good pals with Superman, and I trust him looking after my cats or anything like that. Like he just is the perfect Superman. I mean, IGN gave it an 8. I know. I mean, I was a bit apprehensive when IGN gave it an 8, to be honest, but David Corenswet as Superman is just perfect casting. And again, another discussion I had with my wife not long ago is she saw the hate for David Corenswet when he was first cast and everything, and even seeing the complaints now, like, but he looks like Henry Cavill, and it's like, no, he doesn't look like Henry Cavill. He looks like Superman. That's the big issue here. He looks like Superman. Yash, need more movies from DC to build a complete universe. Yeah, I mean, there's been tidbits of it in this film, just little things like the Hall of Justice had a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's you know, it's definitely building out, but I think it's going to take its time. It's not going to rush into it like Batman v Superman and everything, even though we've met more DC characters in this Superman film than any other solo Superman film, in terms of the superheroes and villains and everything. This just David's great. David's so good in this role, and it does seem like he's going to play Superman for a long time, unless it gets into that Marvel phase where it just does the same thing all the time and just fails badly. But David Corenswet's amazing. I thought Rachel Brosnahan was amazing as Lois Lane. I thought Jimmy Olsen. I thought the Daily Planet crew were great, but to be honest, we didn't see enough of them for me to kind of give an overall verdict on them. I thought there could be more of the Daily Planet stuff, but hopefully we see that in a sequel or in this Jimmy Olsen project. I wanted to see more Daily Planet stuff. Again, I wanted to see the sort of city of Metropolis and its people a little bit more. But you know, from the very beginning of the film, we're into it. You know, I love the sort of Star Wars crawl at the beginning. I really liked that. I just love how it went, like 300 years ago, and then 30 years ago, and then 3 years ago, and then 3 months ago, and then 3 days ago, 3 hours ago, and then David just perfect. Now I was a little bit annoyed because I was like, oh god, I've seen this, but you know, it was edited a little differently. The score was different as well. I don't know if anybody noticed from the first time clip and everything, but yeah, it was. I'm gonna get you on Derpy, I promise. I'm just doing my breakdown and everything. But yeah, I really loved the opening of the film, and it just throws you straight into the Fortress of Solitude, meeting the Superman robots, as he calls them, Krypto, and then back to Metropolis we go to fight the Hammer of Baravia. And it was great. I love that fight scene. I love Lex being the mastermind behind it and kind of setting the world of this Metropolis and this Superman very quickly, may I add. About the first 15-20 minutes of the film sets the stage perfectly. And then as the film continues, it actually slows down quite a lot. We have this 12-minute sort of interview Lois does with Clark as Superman, which on a second watch I was a bit like, oh, this is quite long actually. No, not that. Today would have been Robin Williams' 74th birthday. I'm sad now. Oh, that is sad, isn't it? God. Do you know what? You know, when they said he was considered for the Riddler, that's so cool. Like, imagine Robin Williams as the Riddler in Batman Forever. That would have been... Well, Tim Burton's Batman Forever. That would have been awesome. Julian Reese, loved it. Very surprised that I loved it. Barely veiled geopolitics means your mother-in-law will be watching it too. Hello, Julian. Or Poulian. Very surprised that you loved it. Why were you so surprised? Is it because you just weren't a fan of Superman? Like me, basically. I'm not a massive fan of Superman. But means your mother will be watching it too, yeah. Again, the political message in Superman was like perfectly timed, because when James Gunn wrote this, it was during the Russian takeover of Ukraine, or the attempted takeover of Ukraine. And it actually reminisces way more with what's happening with the Free Palestine movement and everything. And so it's just a perfect film to come out and kind of explain to a younger generation that sort of war, but in a very soft way. And, you know, wouldn't it have been amazing if we had superheroes intervening? And, you know, that's the interesting thing about this film. It does delve into the grounded nature of politics and how superheroes would be treated. And we saw that in Batman versus Superman after the events of Man of Steel and everything. We saw how the world reacted. But what I find with this Superman movie is that it doesn't rely on, oh, what if superheroes existed in our world? It's more of a, this is a universe full of superheroes and they've been around for ages, these metahumans. I thought that was really cool. And you know, and it's not, you know, it's not completely comic booky. There is grounded elements like mobile phones and social media and all that, but it does definitely separate itself from the what if superheroes existed in our universe, which was established in the Dark Knight trilogy, basically. To be honest, Spider-Man, Raimi's Spider-Man was pretty close to the net, or to the web. But yeah, I enjoyed the sort of tone of the film. Yes, it didn't quite find its feet with a continuous tone, but I don't mind that. I kind of like it when a film does unexpected stuff, especially that scene with Lex Luthor and one of Superman's supporters. I was quite taken back by that moment, and I was just like, wow, like they actually did that. But I just love this film. I loved the Justice Gang. The Justice Gang is so funny, man. Like Mr. Terrific, it's just, wait a minute, Mr. Terrific. I'm Mr. Terrific. Yeah, just the standout character in the film. If you don't include Superman, just brilliant, and I want to see more of this character. And remember, it was the first thing James Gunn revealed about the DCU. He posted a picture of Mr. Terrific, this beautiful artwork of him, and we were like, oh, is there a Mr. Terrific project? And it turns out he was in Superman. So, and Hawkgirl was great. I loved Hawkgirl dropping the dictator from the sky and saying, I'm not like Superman. Brilliant stuff. And Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. Looking forward to seeing that character in the Lanterns TV show, because I think they could really go with the arseholing around sort of a bit more. It was a bit soft here. He's just a jerk, really. But I think in the Lanterns TV show, you can. I hope they explain why he's a lantern, because at the moment it's not making a lot of sense, like how he got that ring and took that oath and everything. I don't know much about Guy Gardner, but he's a very interesting character, and it was so good to see a Green Lantern back on screen. It's been a while. Yeah, never a Soup fan. I also now accept the dog was necessary. See, my dad said that. When he saw the trailer, he was like, yeah, it looks great, but the dog, it's just like, but the dog is like, it's fucking Krypto, the super dog. It's Krypto. Like, I used to watch the cartoon of Krypto after school and everything, and it would go, Krypto, the super dog. It was such a good show, man. It was such a good show. Krypto, the super dog show. And it had Bat Hound in it. Ace the Bat Hound. Yes, Batman has a dog. Yeah, it was like, here it is, man. There we go. Krypto the Super Dog, man. What a TV show that was. But oh god, I just really loved this film. And I don't feel like I got a lot in my review talking about it. I have to say, all the flying sequences were really good. I just loved how fluid the camera was and how rough it was as well, and how close it got in scenes. But the flying stuff was just great, and I hope they're a bit more experimental with it going into future Superman projects and him flying. I thought he looked great. I thought all the flying and that looked great. I thought the laser eyes. I was wondering, it was funny, after my first watch I was like, Superman didn't look through anything, but he does. And on my second watch, he looks through the kaiju's body to see Mr. Terrific's T-spheres go through the body and then implode, I guess. And so Superman, I think, checked off all his powers. But one thing I noticed is that Superman never gets shot. Like, he never gets shot with a gun. That's usually a constant thing in the movies and TV shows, is that he gets shot with a gun to show he's bulletproof. But I kind of appreciated they didn't go with that. And also just Superman just being an awesome guy. With the battle of the kaiju with the Justice Gang, like making sure it doesn't fall on buildings and everything, was really, really cool. I really, really liked that. And I thought it was fantastic. My camera's flashing a weird colour for some reason. But yeah, I thought just him trying to protect the citizens, saving the squirrel, was awesome. That was such a funny moment. And I just, Lex Luthor's plan, I've seen it before. Well, not really seen it before. He's playing with different dimensions and pocket universes and everything, which is very interesting because that's a big thing in the DCU and in Peacemaker season 1. I wonder if that plays into season 2 because of the damage it's done to Metropolis now. Again, this is a spoilers warning, but the ending of the film got me, man. The connection between him and Ma and Pa Kent just resonated with me like anything, man. They were just so, it sounds bad to say, but they were just so normal. They were just normal people with a very different lifestyle that I have or you guys have, and they live on a farm, but they had to raise this amazing son. And the fact Clark feels like, because his parents sent him there not to be a good man and everything, but to kind of take over using his Kryptonian heritage, was an interesting twist. But it wasn't as shocking as I hoped it would be. When it happened, I was a bit like, oh, okay, we're doing that. It's been done in the comics before. Jor-El sees the errors of his ways eventually, because he actually survives the destruction of Krypton in a version of the comic. And it would be really interesting if they got Bradley Cooper back as Jor-El, and I'm sure they will more. Joe looking kind of super. Am I kind of looking super? Cute chat. It's because I've lost weight. Probably. Joe's looking super. He ain't looking cute, man. What the fuck? But guys, I loved this film. It's really hard to big it up to people that ask me what do I think of it. I'm like, well, I absolutely loved it, but I don't want to big it up too much because, people again have their own opinions, but I had so much fun. I had so much fun with this film. And God, my faith is just restored into the DC universe and the Elseworlds projects coming out and everything. I'm really looking forward to Peacemaker. I'm really looking forward to Lanterns. I'm really, really looking forward to Supergirl because Joe's spoken very super. Because spoiler alert again, it's up there. Supergirl makes an appearance in this film, which I did not see coming. I did not see that coming. I actually forgot about the Supergirl film, and guys, I've just got to say, pick up this comic. It is an easy read. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King. It is so good. And this is what the Supergirl movie is going to be lightly based on. A bit like how this Superman movie was based on different comics, but mainly All-Star Superman in terms of the tone and the feel. But this is basically going to be what the Supergirl movie is based on. Title just Supergirl now. But the artwork in it is incredible as well. Like, look at that, man. I'll try and find another page. And that's what I mean. It's just easy to flick through. But the planets she visits and everything are just as stunning. Just, it's a great story by Tom King and co. And really exciting. That's my favourite cover of the lot. But this is worth picking up. So when Supergirl made an appearance, I was like, holy crap, she's come to get Krypto, because Mr. Little Krypto is in this comic, and he has a big part to play in this, trust me. So if you do get a chance, pick up Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It is a fantastic comic book. And I can't wait to read this again, actually. I'm really looking forward to reading it again. Sorry, have to put the comic books back into fashionable order, as you know. I have DC Infinite, Joe. Oh, nice one, Derps. Derps, I was going to go live with you, but to be honest, I might... Let's go live together another time, my friend. I think maybe do Fantastic Four together. Are you going to go see Fantastic Four? Because I think we should definitely do a live discussion for that. So let's do that, man. But it's good to hear from you again. I really enjoyed doing our live the other day. That was really cool. I really enjoyed doing that. So let's definitely do it again. But just today, I'm a bit tired. I'm not going to be on long, but let's do a stream together. Let's actually plan it and everything and all that. Okay, man. But I'm glad you saw it a third time. Jealous as hell, man. I don't know. I'm seeing it Friday or Saturday. You're seeing... Oh, right. Fantastic Four. I thought you meant Superman again, dude. I was just like, oh my god, Derps. Like, wait till it comes out on physical, man. Do you think it's coming out on physical like Christmas? Because I can't wait that long. I need to watch this shit again, but in the comfort of my own home. Fantastic Four, I'm seeing Saturday. Congrats on your 500. Cheers, Derp. Thank you very much. That's really kind of you. Congratulations on your 100. I did forget to say that. I apologize, but congratulations on your 100. That's really awesome news. Let's see if we get your 100 to a 500 and my 500 to 1,000. But yeah, I just absolutely loved this film. Really great film. For me, it's an 8 out of 10. Easy. Yeah, I'm just... Yeah, I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I can't wait to watch it again. But yeah, Supergirl's appearance in it was just like, oh my god, we're getting a Supergirl movie and it's gonna be badass. I actually haven't seen the Supergirl poster like up close. Supergirl poster, because James Gunn revealed a poster, didn't he? And I saw it like quickly. I was like, oh cool, but it was just like her in her coat and everything. I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. I can't stop. I can't get that song out of my head, man. I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Like James Gunn, he was so close to using too much, like sort of commercial tracks and everything. He was so close to the net of like doing that, wasn't he? It was really bad. Like, but the punk rock song, brilliant at the end. Really well utilized. I love that shot of him in the chair rotating. It's so good. I have 4 words, 5 words actually, 6 words because I'm a punk rocker. Take you a while to count there, Dutz. But here it is. Here's the Supergirl teaser poster. Non-official teaser poster, I'm guessing. But instead of look up, look out. Because Millie Alcock is Supergirl. So excited, man. This is going to be a different movie. This is not going to be like Superman at all. But, you know, getting a glimpse of a costume, it's quite hard to do, actually. Zoomed in and that. But, you know, she's got the classic, you know, she's got the emblem, the same David Corenswet emblem. I did read today that this is a different belt from the one in the film, and the coat is different, and then the skirt, and then you got the boots and everything. But this is looking awesome. Oh my god, she got blood on her hands. No way. Oh, she gonna be a baddie. She's gonna be a badass, man. It's gonna be like Barbie meets Shazam. Barbie meets Shazam. I think it's gonna be like Game of Thrones, red wedding type stuff. But here she is drinking a drink and like an icy sort of drink. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Supergirl. Really looking forward to it. I'm gonna be there day one. Yeah, just so happy with the film. So happy. Well, I think we can finish off this live just talking about the status of Marvel at the moment. So obviously we have the Fantastic Four First Steps coming out Saturday. Well, Friday, but I'm going to see it Saturday in IMAX. Really excited. Actually, the more I think about it, the more pumped I get. Really, really excited for it. I actually made a video on my TikTok, which you can go check out. It's that. And it was me buying the Fantastic Four merch, the Marvel Legends action figures, which I was not planning to get. But I made some money from selling action figures and everything, quite a bit of money as well. And me and my wife saw all 4 of them, and the variant versions like Human Torch on Fire, and there was another thing there as well. I think it was Silver Surfer. I was about to say Doctor Doom. There's definitely no Doctor Doom action figure, but I picked them up recently, and I was well happy, man. I was well happy with this purchase. But I can show the clip here quickly. Didn't expect to grab these, but here we are. We have the Fantastic Four First Steps Marvel Legends action figures. Look at these bad boys. There's Pedro, there's Vanessa, there's Johnny, and there's the Thing. But let's get them open, and wow, these figures are awesome, man. They come with accessories as usual, especially Mr. Fantastic's bendy arms, which is kind of cool. But this Pedro Pascal sculpt is awesome. I love this figure. It's the best one of the set, to be honest. And then we move over to Vanessa Kirby's Invisible Woman, and that looks cool. Johnny Storm doesn't really look like Joseph Quinn, but you know, we'll get over it. And here's the thing. Well, this is the thing. This is such a good looking action figure. I can't wait to see them all in action in the Fantastic Four First Steps, coming out very, very soon. And that was it. And there's me stalking Kevin Feige as usual. But Kevin Feige did a sort of press interview with loads of people, and he kind of spilled a lot of beans, man. This guy spilled a lot of beans about the future of Marvel, what's been happening as well, because I do believe there's no such thing as superhero fatigue. I don't. I think everyone is always ready for a new superhero project or an existing IP that's very well known, like Superman. But I agree with him in this article. It's a very interesting read from Variety. He talks about, so this superhero fatigue thing doesn't exist because Superman is a great proof of that. People going to the movie and seeing it and loving it and everything. So it's nothing to do with superhero fatigue. It's more quantity over quality. And he has admitted in this article that that's what they concentrated on too much, because that's what he's tasked with. You know, he's the head of Marvel Studios. He is tasked by Disney to make more TV shows, to generate more money and people watching their stuff, especially on Disney Plus. But so many little things in here. One of the, sad news ones is Miles Morales won't be making an appearance in the MCU anytime soon. Even though it had been discussed for the original Avengers Kang Dynasty, that won't be happening because of the rights issue with Sony. Sony just needs to, they just need to let go of Spider-Man. I do believe that. I mean, the partnership is working, but in order for Marvel to be as creative as possible with the character and those characters from the Spider-Man universe, they've got to sell it. They've got to buy. But we're still in this era where the pandemic has just kind of screwed over filmmaking, TV making, everything making. So it's not easy just to buy the Spider-Man rights. And I'm sure Sony don't want to let them go for a little while. And I think they're returning to their Spider-Man villain sort of things again, which I've heard on the grapevine. But the Marvel method is here to stay. It just won't be quite as expensive. It's been proven with the Fantastic Four. That was actually a lower budget than expected. And it still, made the quality they were looking for. The MCU's future won't be in Hollywood. Obviously, there's been this talk about them moving Marvel Studios, a lot of the productions from the films, to the UK. Avengers Doomsday is currently filming down the road in the UK using the studio space, because there's not enough studio space in the US. There's so much content being generated in the US that they're having to move to London, and also get the sort of like tax rebates and everything, and which is very handy for them. But also it's bringing work for local crew, which is great, because the TV and film industry in the UK is not brilliant at the moment. As someone that works in it personally, it's not great. It's really bad at the moment. So hopefully all these films being made over here, and not just Marvel, by the way. DC Studios is setting up base in Leavesden, where the Harry Potter films used to be filmed and everything, and they're setting up base in the UK. I think that's still going ahead, but depending on Trump's stupid motherfucking tariff thing, we have to wait and see. But nothing's come to fruition of the tariff things. One of the biggest things from this article, though, was Feige basically saying the idea of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom had been the plan since before Quantumania came out. And obviously Quantumania had Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, making his first appearance in Loki as He Who Remains, and kind of giving a warning to our heroes. Is Loki's are the Lokis the heroes, anti-heroes maybe, giving a warning to our anti-heroes that a bigger threat was coming in the form of multiversal Kangs, and that was going to be the big bad. That was going to be the Thanos. But according to Feige, they knew whilst in production for Quantumania and also just finishing production for Loki that Kang was not big enough to have their own Avengers film. I call bullshit on this. I do. I think this is bullshit. They changed directions because of what Jonathan Majors done, and I fucking hate Jonathan Majors. I do. I really do. And I don't think they deserve a career back in film and television. I know the charges were dropped. I know a lot of stuff was changed, but there was a lot of stuff in that report about what he had done, not just to her, but in his past, and how he treated on-set people is just unacceptable. And I don't think he should be let back in the Marvel fold. I wouldn't be supporting it anyway. But he's basically saying they had the idea for Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom since Quantumania, when figuring out the Avengers' future. And I could see that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom could have appeared at the end of Avengers Kang Dynasty, leading into Secret Wars, becoming the main antagonist over Kang. But I call bullshit, because they announced at Comic-Con that the first Avengers movie out, this two-parter, was called The Kang Dynasty. It's just like, it's bullshit. Unless like this came up. Randomly landed here from my feed at 2 a.m. Hello from India. Hey, how you doing? Hello, India. From Wales. But yeah, man, it's just it's insane. Like, to think, oh yeah, no, yeah, we were probably not going to do it anyway. You announced it at Comic-Con. To be honest, they announced a lot of stuff at Comic-Con that doesn't come to fruition. Sorry, it's cold spray. Keeps me cool. In this very hot office. But yeah, I don't buy it. I do not buy it. I mean, there's a lot of characters that had appeared in, previous films that just haven't turned up again for a while. But Feige's admitted, like, Eternals and Miss Marvel, and that was all experimental stuff. Wales, I'm just assumed you're American. My bad. No, I am British. I don't live. I'm not from Wales, but I live in Wales, and I'm UK based. But yeah, fair enough. Is my voice close to an American accent? That'd be interesting. Hey there, hi there. But thanks for joining the live. Hope you're enjoying it. Yeah. So the future of Marvel, is looking weird. I wouldn't say it's looking bad or looking good. It's just looking really weird. Because during this big interview with the press, and it's very interesting how they did it. They got press in a room. Feige came in, and he kind of just sits down and kind of just answers all the questions and everything. But the biggest thing to kind of come out of this meeting is that the MCU is resetting. It's not rebooting, it's resetting. So after Secret Wars, this is from Kevin Feige, and this is something we've all suspected for a while, but to actually see it in writing and hear him talk about it, it's actually insane. So in conversations with several trade publications, including Variety, Feige pointed to the Secret Wars comics from 2015 as the studio's inspiration for a reset of the MCU. We're utilizing that story not just to round out the stories we've been telling post Endgame, just as importantly, and you can look at the Secret Wars comics for where it takes you. It very, very much sets us up for the future, Feige said. Endgame literally was about endings. Secret Wars is about beginnings. Feige clarified that the MCU's first X-Men movie, to be directed by Thunderbolt's Jake Schreier, will be a reset, not a reboot of the MCU. Reboot is a scary word, Feige said. Reboot can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Reset, singular timeline, we're thinking along those lines. X-Men is where that will all happen next. Oh, the X-Men are going to become huge. Like, we saw the success with Deadpool and Wolverine. People know the X-Men. They have access to the X-Men content. They did it. They did the team up before the Avengers. Like, the X-Men was massive. And I'm really, really looking forward to us entering the X-Men phase of the MCU. It's going to be so good. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they do. I'm a big fan of X-Men First Class, and that was a slight reboot in my eyes, but then it kind of led into connecting to the previous X-Men films. Well, some of them anyway. We know how confusing the timeline for the X-Men is, but yeah, I'm really excited for the future of Marvel. This has got me amped up, and obviously the Fantastic Four First Steps is looking fantastic. But I'm getting more excited for this film, not just because I've bought the toys, but this film's looking good. And we had some early reviews in for the Fantastic Four, so let's get some of those up, shall we? And also, apparently, the post-credit scene has leaked online, so be warned, I won't be getting that up. Thank you very much. But Kevin Feige has just spilled lots of beans, lots and lots and lots of beans about the future of the MCU. It's awesome. Sorry, I find it so hard to type and talk at the same time. But let's look at the early reactions for the Fantastic Four by people on Twitter. I'm trying to find it, man. I've got a variety of article. Here we go. So from Variety, Fantastic Four first reactions say film is one of the best things Marvel has ever made, with stunning visuals and excellent performances from leading cast. Now, I get a bit weary of social media reactions because I do feel like, you know, when you get invited to an early screening or something, or you go and watch something early and it's a brilliant experience, you get to meet the cast, do a Q&A, blah, 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 all those things, get merch. I'm getting merch for this Fantastic Four film. So excited. But you are going to be influenced in a way to give a positive review because you've had such a good experience going to watch the film. But the reviews are in. The reviews. But here's some breakdowns. You know, that was the other news as well. John Malkovich is no longer in the film as Red Ghost. He was cut out of the film. Matt Shakman, the director of the film, said it was heartbreaking not to include him in the final version of the movie, adding that he was honoured Malkovich had joined the project in the first place. There were lots of things that ultimately ended up hitting the cutting room floor, as usual. Like, we just hear that all the time. But anyway, here's some of the reactions. This is from Andrew J. Salazar. Fantastic Four is a story about family above all else, where each member of the team is equally important. No one is undeserved. The movie excels when fleshing out the various bonds between Pedro, Vanessa, Ebon, and Joseph. The retro 60s aesthetic works on all fronts. That is going to be a huge selling point for people to go and see it. Fantastic Four is a masterpiece. The visual effects and the score are huge standout. Galactus is huge in IMAX. It's emotional and gives you hope. It beats you off and doesn't stop. It does what? Fantastic Four does what? How does it beat you off? Like, damn, Mr. Fantastic. Damn, Pedro. Damn. Fantastic Four friggin' rocks more than any Marvel movie before it. F4 feels like Jack Kirby's imagination brought to life on the big screen. Between this and Superman, 2025 might go down as the year movies finally embrace the wonderful weirdness of comic books. Thank you. That's what we want. We want weirdness of comic books. None of this gritty stuff. Gritty looks. Aura farming. Nothing will prepare you for the Fantastic Four first steps. Pedro Pascal is the perfect read, but the entire cast shines and does right by these characters. It's funny, moving, gorgeous to look at, and non-stop fantastic. This is Marvel Studios at its brilliant best. It's weird. It feels like we are reversing in a way. Remember when we had Spider-Man and we had Blade and Hulk and all these films back in the early 2000s? They weren't connected at all. They worked on their own. And I think that's something the MCU is going to have to improve on when making solo films and separate films set in a cohesive universe. They are going to have to separate them. I mean, this is the first MCU film to not take place in the universe, in the 616 universe solely, I mean. It's solely in a different universe. I think it's 818. But we kind of know how the Fantastic Four are going to bleed into the 616 MCU. We kind of have a feeling after seeing the Thunderbolts, after seeing the trailers for this. I think we all have an inkling of what they are possibly going to do for this, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the Fantastic Four. My wife is very excited for it as well. Hence why I got the action figures. They're down here, by the way. I don't know if you can see them, but they're just there. But yeah, I'm so excited for the Fantastic Four. I think it's going to be a big change for Marvel. But the problem is we go into Doomsday and Secret Wars, and we're kind of coming out of that retro futuristic universe that the Fantastic Four is setting up, and I think people are going to be fatigued by that. Not superheroes, but fatigued by in a world that is like ours, but we have superheroes and multiverses. I think there's a huge problem with that, and I think that's been the problem with superhero movies for a while. And I think Marvel could take a page out of DCU's book at the moment. I think they could just go full on comic book, batshit crazy with a world that is familiar, but has had heroes and mutants and that exist for a while. And also just the world embraces them. Well, they wouldn't embrace mutants, let's be honest. That's the whole thing about the X-Men. That's what makes it work. But, I mean, in terms of the release of the film and everything, Superman worked because it was set in its own universe. It establishes this world as something that's dealt with metahumans for 300 years already. I think there's so much potential for Marvel. And again, I think they could take a page out of DCU's book and James Gunn's book and everything. What was lucky for Gunn is that he worked so closely with Marvel on the first 3 Guardians of the Galaxy films and the Christmas special and the I Am Groot series. Let's not forget those guys. Found the problem. He found the leak and he just went, I'll fix this leak, but I'll do it in another house. So, yeah, I think Feige is paying attention. And that's why Feige has been so quiet, because he's usually on all these press tours, but he's hardly been on many of them. So it's been quite a different experience for Feige. I think he's had to really give his writers team and his story team and that a big slap in the face. And they have to be less experimental. I love Miss Marvel. I really loved Thunderbolts. I liked She-Hulk, man. I really liked She-Hulk. But I didn't like Captain America Brave New World. I didn't like... what was the other film that came out? Well, I haven't seen Ironheart. Like, I'm not even like, I just don't want to watch it. I'm just not interested. I'm not invested in some of these characters and everything. And you have to be careful when building a cohesive universe. You have to go, we are bringing this character in because of this reason, and we think it resonates for this reason. It feels like just bringing these characters in willy-nilly because they appeared in a film for 5 minutes before. And then they fleshed them out. It's like Echo. Like, what was Echo, man? It could have been so good, Echo. But it was just so basic and rushed. And I was so gutted by Echo because I think she's wonderful, that character, and that actor that plays her. But I was just so pissed off about it. Anyway, I'm not here to slant Marvel, compare Marvel and DC. Or am I? No, I'm not. I'm just... Yeah. Good luck to Feige and team. Really good luck. Really good luck. And good luck to James Gunn and the DC universe. I hope Peacemaker Season 2 is good. I hope Lantern's good. I bloody hope Supergirl is good. And I really hope we finally know if Robert Pattinson is the DCU Batman or not. Because it entirely depends on not what James Gunn says, not what Peter Safran says. It depends on what David Zaslav says. And that man is just like, yo, look. You have this Batman already. Put him in the DCU already, and Gunn will have no choice but to go, okay. I just don't know why you wouldn't do it. I don't. I've heard a lot of arguments on TikTok and Twitter, just like, if you want Robert Pattinson's Batman in the DC universe, you do not care about Batman or the DC universe as its own thing and everything. I'm like, come on, man. Let's just be nice to the audience and just do it. And also have that sweet car as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be happy with a new Batman. That's fine. But James Gunn has said in his Josh Horowitz interview recently that it's very unlikely the Batman and the Brave and the Bold will be released simultaneously at the same time, around the same time. They have to be separated. But I do think there is a plan. Matt Reeves' Batman universe ends sooner. And I know Gunn is trying to get Reeves into the Batman sort of stuff in the DCU. You know, he's executive producing Dynamic Duo, Clayface. So Matt Reeves is involved some way, but I think he wants Matt Reeves to be a director on something in the DCU. And I think that could be Brave and Bold. There is no fucking way Andy Muschietti is still the director for Batman the Brave and the Bold. There's just no way. He's a great director. I love his stuff. He's got a new TV show coming out very soon, Welcome to Derry, which is the It prequel. I think he's a great director, and I didn't think he did a bad job with The Flash, to be honest. I hold my hands up, like, I really don't. But there's just no way. Like, you have Matt Reeves right there, who has already done a Batman saga, but he could bring in something different. I don't know. I think there's something going on behind the scenes where they're not quite sure. I don't think they have a definitive answer if Robert's joining the DCU or they're doing a new Batman. I think they're experimenting with a lot of things. But yeah, well, that was the live. I was going to say that was the feed. What am I, 70? But I really enjoyed doing that, guys. Thanks for joining in. Again, Superman, 8 out of 10 for me. Loved this film. Looking forward to seeing it again. Really looking forward to the future of the DCU. And non-DC related, really looking forward to Fantastic Four. And I'll be doing a video similar to what I did for Superman and doing a little vlog like on my way there and everything. And really looking forward to it. Really, really, really looking forward to it. But Superman, what a film. What a film. I hope I can look back at this live on my review I did on YouTube, which you can check out. That's Just Joe. And all these other social media platforms. But I hope I can look back and go, God, you had no idea what was coming. You had no idea how much better it was going to get and how awesome the DCU is now. So yeah, thank you so much for joining in. Really love talking about it. And I'll be on for a live maybe with Derpy this Sunday, possibly, Derps. I don't know if you're still watching, man, but it'd be good to jump on a live with you again and maybe talk about a non-DCU project. But yeah, let's organize that in the DMs. But really enjoyed it. Is there anything else I need to add? Am I going to see anything else? Oh, just take this in mind. Fantastic Four is the last Marvel film we get before we get Spider-Man. That's insane. I'm cool with that. Cool, Derps. I will chat to you on the side, man. But thanks for joining in. Number one fan, Derps. Let's give him a round of applause. And then who was our number 2 today? Number 2 was Yash. Number 3 was Julian. And we had a new number 3, and it was Uppermanyo. Thank you all so much for interacting. It's been great, and I will see you in the next video or the next live. Remember to like this video. Really helps me out. We've hit over 500 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, but like the video, it really helps me out. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel for more awesome lives like this and also more content from me on this YouTube channel. Take care. Bye-bye.